Hi, my name is Jay with Kick Foosball Tables. First up, I'd like to welcome you to the Kick family. Today I'll be showing you how to properly assemble your Legend Black 55-inch foosball table. I hope this instructional video is helpful. With no further delay, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you want to do is open your box and take a look at your contents. Then you want to go ahead and lay down each piece out onto your floor individually. If you are assembling your foosball table on a hard surface, I do recommend you lay down a large blanket or a large piece of cardboard. That way we don't damage our table during the assembly process. Next, you want to match each part to what's inside your instruction manual. After sorting out all the parts in the box, and once you've matched each part to what's inside your instruction manual, if you notice any missing or damaged parts, please contact Kick customer support with pictures of the shipping label, the box itself, and the damaged part. Our contact information will be listed at the end of this video. You will find your leg levelers in both of your end panels, P2, and your plain field support braces in one of the 4 legs. For step 1, we'll be sliding our plain field P3 into the groove that you see here on both end panels P2. Now what you want to make sure is that your end panel, that both of the goalie holes are faced down and closer to the floor, and that the graphics on your playing field are also faced down. For step 2, we'll be inserting our H5 nut into all 3 holes here on the end panel. Now what you want to make sure is that the hole on the end of the nut aligns with the hole on the end of the end panel. You also want to make sure that the groove that you see here faces outwards. This is in case if you insert it and it's offset, you can use a flathead screwdriver to straighten it out. For step 3, we'll be attaching both of our side panels P1 to both end panels P3 using our H4 washer and our H3 bolt. And what you want to make sure is that the ball entry hole that you see here is faced downward closest to the floor, and that the groove that you see here is just inwards towards your playing field. When attaching your side panel to your end panel, again, you want to make sure that the nut that you see here on the end aligns with the hole on the end panel. Go ahead and insert your H3 bolt and your H4 washer into all 3 of these holes. And then you want to secure it using the Allen wrench that was provided. One quick note, before you attach the other side pedal, you want to make sure that the playing field slides on top of this groove that you see here on the other side panel. One way to do that is to go ahead and put the palm up underneath the playing field and lift up and slide it into place. Before we move on to step 4, I just want to point out that depending on your make and model and year of your table, that the H1 bag that you see here that holds the brackets for your braces might be labeled a little bit differently than what reflects in your user manual. In this case, this is labeled H1, but the brackets in the manual will be P9 and P12. For step 4, we'll be attaching our support braces P8 using our brackets P9 and our screws H8. Now you will need to provide your own Phillips head screwdriver. In this case, I will be using my impact driver fitted with the Phillips head tip to speed along the process. Now the first thing you want to do is go ahead and attach all of your support brackets to all three of your support braces. What you want to do is you want to make sure that the support bracket is flush and aligned with the support brace on the end. Now these holes are not pre-drilled, so you will need to apply some pressure when screwing in your screws. After you've attached all of your support brackets to your support braces, we can now attach our support braces to our table using our H8 screws. The part's pretty simple. You just want to go ahead and space your support braces about a foot apart on your table. And then attach the brace to the side panel. Now again, these holes are not pre-drilled, so you will need to apply some pressure when screwing in the screws. Next, we'll be attaching our other four support brackets, P12, to both the playing field and the side panels using our H8 screws. So we'll go ahead and line up the four brackets in the middle of your support braces on either side and secure it using the H8 screw. For step 6, we'll be attaching our legs P4A and P4B to our table using our H1 bolts and our H2 washers. And one way to determine that you are adding the correct leg to the correct side of the table is you want to go ahead and line the hole here on the side of the leg to the hole in the side panel. And insert your H1 bolt and H2 washer. And then secure with the Allen wrench that was provided. For step 7, we'll be attaching our leg leveler P5 to the bottom base of each leg. This part's pretty simple. You want to go ahead and screw down your leg leveler all the way down to the bottom base of each leg. The purpose of these leg levelers is to stabilize your table during play, so that if one side is higher than the other, you just unscrew these a couple notches to even out your playing field. You will also notice this rubber ring around each bottom base of each leg leveler. It's to keep your table from sliding back and forth during play. Now that we have finished assembling the bottom portion of our table, we now go on to the next step of turning over our table. This is a two-person job, so you will need some assistance for this part of the assembly. What you want to make sure is that you don't rest the weight of the table on either of the legs. So you just want to turn over the table in one swift, full motion so that all the legs hit the ground at the same time. For step 8, we'll be inserting our ball entry cup P10A and our ball entry socket P10B into our side panel using our H7 screw. The part's pretty simple. You just want to go ahead and screw in your cup into the socket, insert into the side panel, and then secure using your H7 screw. You just want to make sure that the cup is aligned with the top of the table. Now, these holes are not pre-drilled, so you will need to apply some pressure when screwing the screw. For step 9, we'll be attaching both of our slide scores P11 to both of our end panels using our H7 screw. Now again, these are not pre-drilled, but they have been scored, so you will need to apply minimal pressure when screwing in your screws. You might notice this filled lining tape in your box. This was actually an option for the older model that did not include these new plastic ramps. However, I am going to be installing these plastic ramps today because they actually do work better and they do look better than the filled lining tape. So this is still an option. You can add this if you want, or you can add the ramps. It's completely up to you. For step 10, we will be attaching our side and corner ramps using our S1 screw. You will notice that there are two different size corner ramps. One's a little bit smaller and one's a little bit larger. However, the larger of the two, this one here is only used if you're going to go with a one-man goalie setup instead of a three-man goalie setup. This will not work with a three-man goalie setup. So for today, we'll be attaching the smaller of the two corner ramps. You want to go ahead and attach these first prior to installing your side ramps. Then you want to slide your other side ramp. Should slide right under the corner ramp. Since we've already installed our corner ramps, for the last ramp, you might need to kind of just lift and bend into place. It's just to snap right in, just like that. Once you have finished installing your side and corner ramps, you can now cover your screw holes using the little green stickers that came in your box. Before we move on to step 11 and insert all of our player rods and attach each player to each rod, I want to show you a short video and explain to you the differences between counterbalance men versus uniform men, and the difference between a one-man goalie versus a three-man goalie setup. Counterbalance men versus uniform men. With your table, you would receive two different styles of foosball men. One set of uniform hard plastic men, and one set of ABS counterbalance men. The uniform men are men used mostly by beginners. If you keep the players on the rod in a horizontal position, they'll just fall back down into a vertical position. And if you free spin the rods, they'll continue on spinning. Whereas more experienced players prefer the counterbalance men. Counterbalance men mean that there's a weight in the head equal to the weight of the toe. So unlike the uniform men, they will not fall back down into a vertical position if left in a horizontal position or in any other position. They also won't keep on spinning like the uniform men. This lets the user control their foosball men to their liking or technique. For step 11, we'll be inserting all of our player rods and attaching each player to each rod. What you want to make sure is that you carefully review the diagram that I have attached in this video. You also want to make sure that there's a hole on the correct side of the table where the handles will later go. One-man goalie versus a three-man goalie setup. Most beginners and some others prefer a three-man goalie setup because there's more defense around the goal, making it harder to score and giving the user more control over the field. While some others prefer a more competitive, fast-paced one-man goalie setup. It's completely up to you.
If you choose a one-man goalie setup instead of having the other two outer men on the goalie rod, you'll replace them with the 4 black stop rings.
Rod and player setup. Place 4 handles on each side of the table in this specific order. You also want to make sure that the home team is set up in this specific order as seen in the diagram. Make sure your players are all facing the opposing team and towards the other opponent's goal, not the same team or your own goal. Once you've carefully reviewed the diagram and laid out all your rods properly on top of your table, you can go ahead and insert your rods into one side of the side panels. We will be attaching our players using our rubber bushings C4 and our plastic washers C5. First thing you want to do is insert your rubber bushing, then a washer. Then you want to add the correct amount of players per holes in your rod. Then insert another washer and another bushing. And you want to complete by sliding through the second hole. We'll be attaching our players using our C6 bolt and our C7 nut. The part's pretty simple. You just want to go ahead and insert the bolt into the chest of the player. And then insert the nut into the back of the player. Turn the player around and secure.
For step 12, we'll be attaching our handles P6 to our rod using our H9 screws. This part's pretty simple. You just want to go ahead and line up the hole on the rod to the hole on the handle. Insert your H9 screw and secure. One quick note, these handles are really high quality. Most other companies use really cheap rubber slide-on handles. Also, these rods are semi-hollow, so they are durable enough to rough play, yet light enough to let the player have full control over the rod. If you need rod lubricant, please contact Kit Customer Support and they'll send you a free complimentary bottle.
Next, you're attaching your rubber end caps P7 to the other end of the rod. Your new foosball table comes with 2 different types of foosballs. Smooth for hard and straight shots and fast-moving offense, or soccer or football, which is textured for greater friction, power, and control. Congratulations! We have finally completed the assembly of our 55-inch Legend Black foosball table. You are now free to enjoy your table with your friends and family. Again, I hope this instructional video was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please visit us at www.kickfoosballtables.com or email us at support@kickfoosballtables.com, or you can call us at 1-866-844-KICK. That's 1-866-844-5425.